After 3 weeks of using the Zhiyun Smooth Q and putting it through my trip to Coron, using it as a behind-the-scenes cameraman, and even vlogging with it, I'm confident to talk about what I like and don't like about this handheld gimbal. Yo, it's Arvin Concepcion and welcome to GearedForYou, a segment on the channel that talks about camera gear, reviews camera gear, so you can find out if it's a gear for you. And you should definitely consider hitting subscribe for more gear reviews, gear-related videos, future tutorials, behind-the-scenes shoots, and as well as weekly vlogs if you're interested in that. First, let's take a look at what the Zhiyun Smooth Q actually features. So this is a 3-axis gimbal. Moving down, it has 4 buttons. So you have your joystick, your telephoto to wide, your mode, and your record button. On the side, it features a mini USB hub for firmware updates and charging. On the back bottom, it features a USB hub for charging your smartphones. And on the bottom, it features a 1/8 screw mount. 2 out of the 4 buttons can be accessed via the Zhiyun Play app. That is the record button and the telephoto to wide button. The joystick and the modes can be accessed without the app. So that is about it for what this gimbal features physically. Let's move on to the modes. When using the mode button, you have 3 modes. Click it once, you have the lock mode. Click it twice, you have the pan follow mode. Click it 3 times, it takes you to selfie mode. So let's first talk about what I don't like about the Zhiyun Smooth Q. First one off the bat, it tilts. I figured that the motor weighs more than the phone, that is why it tilts this way. And I've also tried adjusting it manually while it's off like a regular gimbal, but it just stays tilted forever for me. Motors get hot after a long period of time. In my experience as using it as a behind-the-scenes camera where it has to follow me everywhere, the motors would get hot after some time, leaving it out for like 4 or 5 minutes. And when the motors get hot, the motors fail. And so you can see here that the footage would swing and then it would go back balance and then swing again. That's the motors quitting after a long period of time because the motors are getting hot. The next few things have to do with connecting your phone to the gimbal. And so how do you connect your phone to the gimbal? You use Bluetooth. And when you use Bluetooth, it drains your battery. And sure, the gimbal lasts 12 hours. But if your phone dies faster than your gimbal, what are you going to film with? The tracking feature in the Zhiyun Play app is not fast or perfect. Here are multiple occasions where the tracking feature wasn't fast. And here are moments where the tracking feature wasn't perfect. So you saw in one of them that Ichiro was trying to juke the tracking feature and it did not follow. And the other ones, you saw that it followed someone else's face instead of mine. So the tracking feature isn't fast or perfect. The last thing I don't like is the charging feature. Yeah, it's helpful if you're in portrait mode all the time, but I find myself always in landscape mode and there's no room for your cord to be there while it's charging. So it's helpful to some people, but not for me. Alright, let's move on to what I like about the Zhiyun Smooth Q. After going through your sad times in life, there's always hope. And what am I doing? Let's just move on to the thing. Number one thing I like about this Zhiyun Smooth Q is the price. Zhiyun makes great products, and to have it at that price range where it's super cheap and affordable, I love it. That is the one thing I looked for the first time I was looking for handheld gimbals. Price was number one. Form factor. I mentioned this in the unboxing that I like the fact that I can take this around while it's being small and compact without getting too much attention, while I can get those really cool dolly in, dolly out shots and all those other shots you can think of. Form factor was the number 2 thing that I looked for, and it is small. I can take this anywhere I go. Low ground shots. On the first day of unboxing, I tried it out and I just turned it upside down. And I can get upside down shots. These are the type of shots I've always wanted to get, and I've never done it in my production because my own KTV single can't even do that. I can't do ground shots and they're always so interesting and you barely get to see them, and I'm just so happy that this gimbal can do it for me. Battery life. It says that this thing goes on for about 12 hours and I've never really used it for a full 12 hours. But then again, I've never ran into problems where I ran out of battery with this. So that is pretty good, especially on my trip to Coron. This never ran out of battery and we had a whole day of traveling on the ultimate tour. So this thing did great. Moving time lapses. You can set this down on a mini tripod you can attach to it. And then it has a feature in the app that lets you take moving time lapses. You can take it from going up and then going to over here and then pointing down. I use these on my end screens on my weekly vlogs if you guys notice, but that is such a cool feature and I'm always going to use that for my weekly vlogs. Last but not least is the tracking feature. Even though it's not fast or perfect, it does the job. Especially what I do behind the scenes, and sometimes I don't have a cameraman to be with me, so I can depend on this to follow me so that I'm not out of frame once I set down the camera. So the tracking feature is important for the content that I make here on my channel. It's one of my first gear reviews. Cool. And the very last thing that I love about the Zhiyun Smooth Q is the fact that it stabilizes all of my smartphone footage. Now I've always wanted to get dolly in, dolly out shots, and this gimbal helps me do it. And I just love the fact that I can get any type of shot with this gimbal because it makes it super smooth. In the current vlog, you can see there are micro jitters in some of the shots. And that's because I use an app that did not have the anti-shake feature. So make sure you choose an app carefully that has the anti-shake feature so you can have super smooth footages. So that's about it with my experience with the Zhiyun Smooth Q. Yeah, it's not perfect, but I found a way to work around its flaws and have this gimbal work for me. Hopefully what I've said helped you decide if the Zhiyun Smooth Q is a gear for you. And if it did, hit the like button and comment down below your thoughts. Also hit subscribe for more Gear For You videos, and also check out my channel for more other videos that you may be interested in. Me and Zhiyun Smooth Q are out.